Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is day 6 of our 12 Days of Christmas in July series. If you're just joining in, I will leave links in the description below so you can check out the first 5 videos. So for our project today, it has a bit of a backstory, and that is, if you've been following me on Instagram, you will know that I have been working to develop my coloring skills and stamping techniques, and I've got a whole separate series there. It's 31 days of Christmas in July, hand stamped and colored Christmas greeting cards, and these are all A2 size cards, and they're pretty clean and simple, or as clean and simple as I'm ever gonna get. So you can go over there and check those out as well. But my true love for card making is, of course, adding all of the fancy trims and layers and handmade flowers and all the things I can add to it to really embellish my cards. So what I want to do today is I want to bring those two worlds together and create a card that features some beautiful hand-colored images. These are stamps from Whimsy Stamps, and create a winter scene, and then do all of my favorite layering and embellishing for this card. So stick with me and we will make this together. Here's the stamps I'm working with today. These are both from Whimsy Stamps, and I just got these in the mail yesterday, and of course I've already gotten into them to color them because that's how I am. And so I've got 2 sets. This one is the bundled up, and it just has some sweet little woodland creatures with mittens and scarves and hats on, and a little girl. There's quite a few sentiments here, and so you can decide you want to make it Christmassy or for a different season. You can change out the colors, and the different sentiments you can change out as well. But I can see this being nice for just about any holiday or like birthday cards. You could just easily change out the colors that you use to color them with. And then I'm also going to incorporate some of the trees here. This is the glitter globe stamp set, so I picked both of the sizes and colored a couple of those in those different sizes. Here is what I wound up with. I wanted to go with a blue theme today. I really love a blue Christmas theme, so I colored her little outfit and the scarves on the little woodland creatures, and then I gave her a little coral colored skirt and hood and put some polka dots on that, so that's pretty cute. And then my woodland creatures all coordinate, and then my Christmas trees here, or evergreen trees, so they could be used for summer too if you need them to for the project that you're working on. So to coordinate with that blue, I'm gonna use this collection from Authentique. This is the Swaddle collection, and it has some beautiful blue tones, so I really wanted to use that plaid, and I'm pairing it with the star background pattern. This one came from the 6x6 paper pad, and I don't have more of that to show, so this is just the one sheet that I had to use, and this is going to be my background. I'm going to build my scene on this background piece and then add it to the larger card base. I've got my Faux Snow here. They're just some glitter paper that I die cut with a hillside border, so it's got that nice stitched edge. I put a couple different orientations of that curve so that it would look a little bit more interesting. I'm going to just sort of put my background on here so that I can tell where I need to add it, so that I make sure to cover up all of the cut edges. And this is going to be the snow scene in the background. So here is my front piece, and this is that plaid that I mentioned. I cut a frame from silver mirrored cardstock using this frame here. It's just an inside scallop circle with a stitched edge detail, and it works out to measure perfectly this larger circle die that I have. So I cut my pattern paper with this die and then added this frame. So I would have normally done that on camera, but it does take a while for that glue to set up, and so I just went ahead and did that. I also popped this up on foam tape, and I had put a good border around and then some on the inside to support that circular shape, and I'll just add this here. I want it to line up, so I'm going to pull it off screen just a bit because I want that border to show of my pretty cardstock. Okay, so here is my top portion. This is going to be the background for my scene with the pretty frame. I'm going to set this aside just for a second and finish the front part of the card. So here's some coordinating paper on the inside, and I'll add my outside border. So this is going to be just a non-contrasting pattern for the background. It reminded me a little bit of snow, so I thought that would look perfect with our winter scene. And then I'm going to pull that forward a little bit and get this one centered. So here is my card base, and I'm ready to begin building my winter scene. I've also got all of my stamped and colored images flipped over. I took all of the adhesive off, and you can see some of them have foam spacers, and some of them will be added flat right to the card. And to help me out while I assemble, I did take a picture of my potential layout as I was working along so that I could see how things fit in there, and then I can just use this as a reference while I'm working. So what I want to do is include the largest element first in the background, and I'm going to develop some depth with this so the trees in the back will look larger. And then I've got a second smaller tree to put right there. Now I can add this little girl with her fancy skirt. There's a little bit of room here to tuck in some of that so that I can get it all to fit. And then I've got a large tree for the corner here as well, and another small one. I've got this bunny colored for the outside of the card, and it's just got some little matching mittens and scarf and hat, and that's so adorable. We have bunnies that live under our porch, and I just love watching them come out and play. They're so sweet. So here is the gray bunny, and it just has a little scarf, so I knew that would be great because it wouldn't take up quite as much room. And I'm just adding that one right here on a separate layer of that snow. You see, these have the adhesive tabs from scrapbook adhesive, so they're not quite as thick as regular dimensional foam tape. And then this little squirrely guy can go right here, a little bit of his tail tucked behind, and that just makes the scene a little bit more interesting. I've created a couple of flower arrangements here. I was inspired by the colors in the pattern paper, so my poinsettias are light blue and white. There's some die cut foliage here and some glitter stars, and then beautiful wrinkle ribbon for the bows. I tied 2 bows because I have 2 arrangements, and they will balance each other very nicely. This one has a little bit of a smaller star on it as well, so that will fit right here. And then this one is going to go pretty low because I don't want to cover too much of all that hard work I did coloring those images. Not to say that it wasn't the most funnest morning ever, because I really did love it. And that is going right here on the bottom. I've got a couple of snowflakes here. These are just some little metal charms, and I'm going to stick these here where I want them to hang and hold on to them while I attach the top of the string with glue. Then I can hide that cut edge with the other flower arrangement. I'm making sure to not cover too much of that mirror frame because that is such a pretty element in my winter scene. Okay, here is the sentiment I picked from that bundled up stamp set, and I stamped that with my sky blue ink from scrapbook.com, and I cut it out with a fishtail banner with a stitched edge, and that just makes it a little bit more interesting. And there is just enough room for that sentiment to go right here at the top. Okay, before I'm done, I think I want to add some stickle detail as well to some of the elements so that I can highlight them. So this is going to be all for day 6 of our 12 Days of Christmas in July series. If you enjoyed this project, make sure you come back tomorrow for day 7. And if you enjoyed this coloring technique, let me know. And you can find links for the Whimsy stamps that I used today in the description below, as well as links for all of our social media sites. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and our blog and our Etsy shop. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.